How's it going, YouTube? This is your boy Chosen, and no gameplay today, as you can tell from the title. Today I'm going to try to shed a little light on some unanswered questions. Are we getting a new Naruto game? Will there be an announcement anytime soon? Is Strikers getting a season 3? Will we get a sequel? All that good juicy stuff. So I think the best place to start is a question I have answered quite a few times now. Are we getting a season 3 of Naruto Shinobi Striker? And honestly, I've had a few people ask me this even after I made the Future of Shinobi Striker video, which I did clarify that Soleil is a small company of 88 people currently supporting Shinobi Striker while working on Samurai Jack and a new Demon Slayer mobile game. For them to make a full 9 roster DLC list while also making cool new stuff for Tenten Shop, or while also making outfits for event rotations, you guys have to understand this is hard work. Very hard work, especially now that they have 2 other big titles to focus on. I don't know if we are going to get a 3rd season of Shinobi Striker. Now granted, this does not mean I wouldn't want more content being added. Of course I would. I'm just not gonna lie to myself and overlook the general facts of why we probably won't get a 3rd season. If we do get one, amazing. I can continue somewhat covering the game as long as content comes out. But again, with those 2 projects in mind, I don't think they are going to release a 3rd season. Bandai probably had Soleil on a 2-year contract for Strikers. Because, think about it. Bandai has to release a new Naruto game every year. Naruto Shinobi Strikers came out in 2018. In 19, it was supposed to be Ninja Tribes, but it got delayed because they just weren't ready. So Tribes then got pushed back to 2020, and with no Naruto game announcement to be found, I think it's fair to say that Ninja Tribes is the Naruto game of this year. Now with that said, technically speaking, we should have already gotten a new Naruto console game this year, but because of Ninja Tribes being delayed like 4 months and the possibility of them wanting to do a next gen release for this new Naruto console game could also play a part in why we haven't gotten any news on the next big thing. Now I know in that Future of Shinobi Strikers video, I did say we should have gotten news by now on what Bandai is planning to do with Shinobi Strikers until the next Naruto game takes over, and they've said nothing so far. I was a bit confused and assumed at this point it's just up in the air for when they announce anything, but recently I went through my PS4 library of games and looked upon Ninja Storm 4, and what's coming out this month? The Momoshiki and Kinshiki DLC. The exact month after the Okage Naruto DLC, the final Season 2 DLC of Shinobi Striker. Coincidence? This is probably the last idea I have of when we could get any announcements for Shinobi Striker. Not saying it's guaranteed they will say anything after the release of that DLC, but this is most likely why they haven't said anything on Strikers or anything other than Storm 4 in terms of Naruto gaming. I know Strikers isn't the biggest anime game out there, but it has more devoted fans than Storm 4 does right now. For them to release a Storm 4 DLC trailer and a Shinobi Striker Jutsu Pack trailer or a Season 3 trailer, that wouldn't necessarily kill the hype for Storm, but I don't think as many people would be paying attention to it. That's all I got, guys, and all I probably will have until leaks come out or Bandai themselves actually reveals anything about Shinobi Striker. Again, I would say wait until after the Storm 4 DLC, whether it's a couple days or a week, and by then if they still don't say anything, it's up in the air. I have no idea when they will or if there even is a future still on this game. Now for the sequel. And I guess I can combine this topic with the new Naruto game announcement. So for this video, I'm going to use great points brought up by the man himself, Afro Senju. Y'all most likely know him, and the homie, Black Sage. The points I'm going to bring up are from their videos. I obviously will not go into detail because there'd be no point in watching theirs if you came here first. Right? So I guess before I predict what the next Naruto game will be, we should probably talk about what kind of Naruto games should we be expecting for the next couple years. Now this idea was first brought up by Afro Senju. If you want to see a full detailed explanation, the link is in the description. Afro somewhere in his video makes a great point on why he thinks, for a good while, we might only be getting mediocre games like Naruto Shinobi Striker, and why we also can't be getting characters like Shikadai or Chojo. And it's probably because of licensing. Because there's 3 Naruto to Boruto games we have had that don't have any Boruto characters. Actually, if you count Storm 4, that makes 4, right? It's just Boruto, Mitsuki, and Sarada. It's probably because the anime hasn't progressed much in terms of manga content, and yes, every Boruto episode is still canon, episode 1 through 151, but for some reason, Bandai is not allowed to exploit these characters into their games. I don't know the actual reason, but I'm guessing it's because of, in terms of manga content progression, the anime just finished up to chapter 15, when the manga is approaching chapter 44. So with that being said, it would make sense for there to be a Shinobi Striker 2. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, we're probably more likely to get a sequel than a season 3. Again, because I don't want there to be a mix-up, this does not mean I don't want a season 3. I'm just sticking to the facts. And honestly, I'm a little skeptical on if we're even going to get Shinobi Striker 2. And this is because of information given to us by Black Sage. He stated that Bandai has recently trademarked a game called Battle Alliance. And that honestly sounds like a Naruto game Bandai would name. More detail in his video, so go check it out. Now let's say hypothetically this is a Naruto game. Would the devs be Soleil? Probably not. Because again, remember 2 big titles, 88 people. And if Soleil was to develop this game, why would it not just be Shinobi Striker 2? Right? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but how many games published by Bandai of a certain dev team go on to make a totally different game instead of producing a sequel? Look at One's Justice 2. Same dev team. Look at Xenoverse. Same dev team. Let's say Bandai wants CC2, you know, the devs behind Kakarot, to make another Dragon Ball game. Are they more likely to make a sequel or something completely different? It's gonna most likely be a sequel. If Demon Slayer sells well, after season 2 wraps up, we could be in the works for a sequel of the first game. That hasn't even come out yet, right? If this Naruto game is called Battle Alliance, that probably means it is not developed by Soleil and instead a different company. And last but definitely not least is one of the most anticipated questions. Will we get a new Naruto game announcement this year? The answer is yes. Like, remember, they have to make a new Naruto game every year. Next gen consoles are scheduled to come out this Christmas. We are approaching 2 years since the release of a new Naruto console game. I mean, there's just no way that we don't get a new one next year, guys. A lot of you may not know this, but IGN is hosting a summer gaming event, a digital event, set to begin early June, I believe it was. Multiple partners are taking place in this event, right? 2K, Sega, Bandai Namco, and remember that new trademark Battle Alliance? Coincidence how it was trademarked not too far away from this digital event? That is my prediction on the new Naruto game announcement. I refuse, generally refuse to even think for a second that Bandai won't reveal the next Naruto game for that event. Or if you still aren't convinced enough, well, I got a little something else that could possibly prove that something is coming. Last week, I personally messaged the support team of Bandai Namco and asked probably the dumbest question. Will there be future content coming to Shinobi Striker? As if they'd tell me, but I tried. And they responded with, "We're unable to assist you with your inquiry since our team is unable to disclose any information. We highly suggest you stay tuned on our official sites for future announcements." I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out why I emphasize the word highly. Right? So let's look at everything we got. Potential Naruto game title, potential new Naruto console game announcement date, and the sentence, which I'm quoting, "We highly suggest you stay tuned on our official sites for future announcements." Not saying this is a Strikers 2 announcement, but I mean, come on, it has to be June. I generally might cry if we don't get a new Naruto game announcement in June. It's been a long time coming. But yeah, this is it. I'm probably not doing any more day predictions on future Naruto anything until we get leaks or a confirmation. So remember, in terms of Shinobi Strikers only, my final verdict is to wait until after the Storm 4 DLC. Give it a week, and if they still don't say anything, then it's up in the air. As for a new Naruto game, June. Has to be June. I refuse anyone to tell me otherwise.
Goodbye.